Good afternoon, everyone. This is Michael from Bro JMR. Blessed Samhain, or Happy Halloween to you. This is a new episode of Thrift Store Tech. I found something I think is pretty neat, and I wanted to show it to you. And so let's take a look. Now, what I have for you today is something, again, that I think is pretty neat. It's an old VCR. I picked this up at Goodwill for $9. I did test it. It powers on. I haven't tested the internal mechanics of it, but it does power on. So I went ahead and got it. And part of the reason why I got it is just because it's a really old. It's old. It's a really old VCR. It's about. I'll show you the manufacturer date in the back, but it's about 28 years old. And since it is so old, I thought it was really neat that, number one, it still had this right here, which I will zoom in. It's still got the little tag on the top that shows all the features of it. And the features include 1 year, 8 event timer, on-screen programming, HQ high quality picture, quartz tuning, 117 channel cable capability, and a 27 function remote. And speaking of a 27 function remote, it still had the original remote control with it, which I thought was just too cool. It's cool to find an old VCR that still works. It's cooler to find an old VCR that still has the information tag on it. It's even coolest to find an old VCR that still works with the information tag on it and the original remote. Now, we did we took the batteries out to see if it had any markings on it. It did not. Unfortunately, I did not capture on video it. The batteries in here were so old and they were so corroded. It was disgusting. They were Duracell batteries that had the best buy date, the expiration date on it, of like 2004. So those batteries were from the mid to late 90s at the minimum. But I do have some brand new batteries I'm going to put in, and no, Duracell is not sponsoring this. It just happened to be that I had some Duracell batteries lying around. Some of the cool stuff about this, it's going to have a really cool like a little LED quartz, I don't know what the name of it is, but display here that still works. It's great. It's got a flip down drawer with very minimalistic stuff. It's got a stop and a play and a record button. You can switch between the internal tuner and the line in, and then CATV, which I'm not sure of, and eject and power button right there. You can see inside of it. Unfortunately, there was no tape in there. That would have been really awesome. Go around to the back side of it real quick. Has AV in and out, UHF, the old devil's prong connections, and then a cable connection, channel 3 and 4 for your out to TV. This is a Sears brand VCR. It's got the Sears Robot Company here, Sears Tower, Chicago, Illinois, which is old because it's now called the Willis Tower. And the manufacturer date, let me see if I can, this is pretty heavy, so let me see if I can get it close enough where you can see the manufacturer date. July 1989. Now, I did a little research on it, and it's surprisingly hard to find any information about this particular VCR. The most that I was able to find on any website about information about it was how to order replacement parts, which if something doesn't work and I can't fix it, I'm gonna have to do. But I did find an entry in the Sears and Roebuck wish list Christmas catalog from 1988 that has an advertisement for this VCR. So this came out in the 1988 holiday season, even though, I mean, this model did, even though this particular one was manufactured in '89. Then, and here is the advertisement. As you can see, that that Christmas season, it sold, this VCR sold for $244.99. In making comparison today, a 4K Blu-ray player costs you about the same amount of money. And if anybody out there has the 1988 Sears Wish Book catalog, that specific catalog page is 664 if you want to care enough to look up the page and see the page for yourself. But so let's get going. Let's test this sucker out. So as you can see by the flashing 1200, we have power going to the machine. Let's power this sucker on. Looks like it's working. Let's hit the power on the old TV and see what we can do. Pop in a VHS. I'm picking Little Big League because I've got 2 copies of it, so that way if it gets messed up, it's not a big loss. Okay, we plugged it in. It tried to play for a little bit and nothing was happening, so let's try the old remote. Alright, so I tried taking the tape out of the VCR to see what was going on, and this happens. This is not a good sign. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take this thing apart, unplug it, take it apart, see if we can figure out what's going on with it, and we'll try again. Alright, I've unplugged the machine from the power so I don't shock myself. So let's try to take this thing apart and see what's up. Okay, as you see, we got this guy taken apart. Let's see. Well, we can figure it out, and well, the tape's out, so that's a good sign. Well, first taking a look at this, the circuit board is pretty dusty. The heads are spinning fine. I think this thing just needs a good cleaning, and we'll see if we can put another tape in and diagnose and see what's wrong with this thing. Alright, I've done my best to clean it up as best I could. I don't have any compressed air. I'm going to have to go get some when I go to the store later today. But since I have this cover off, I want to go ahead and power it on and put a tape in here and see if we can't figure out what's going on with this this thing. Okay, I already see one problem. Alright, as you can see here, for some reason this is not spinning. So we're going to have to see what it is that's making it not spin, because it pulls the tape up to the head, the reader, but when it's spinning, whatever's running this right here is not spinning the tape to where it keeps going. So we're going to pull this sucker back out, see if we can figure out what it is that's causing the problem. Well, since we couldn't find the problem from the front end or from the top, flipped it over. We'll pull out these, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws and see if we can see the problem from the bottom. Okay, this is kind of what I suspected that was wrong. There is a mechanism right in there that when powered on, this right here where's my finger? This right here moves and connects to one of the other reels down here that drives the tape along. And this, hey, hold on, sorry, very shaky hands. This right here spins fine. This spins fine. But the belt that connects them is rubbish. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to put this tape back in. Don't worry, this is not harming the machine or the tape. Okay, you can see how this drags the tape in. This spins. This is not. This, as it spins, this belt should be tight and should be spinning this, which connects this all the way over and running the tape. So this belt is rubbish. As you can see, it's broken. Let me see if I can find. Okay, there you go. As you can see, as you can see, this belt is rubbish. It's starting to crack. And as a matter of fact, I could probably pull it and break it. But I'm not going to today because I need to order a belt and make sure that's the right size. So this video is going to be a to be continued until I can get a new belt for this thing, which will make this drive, this is the main head drive, or the main drive that pulls the tape. This belt connects to here, and when it spins, I'll show you what it's actually supposed to do. So when this gets pulled in and this spins the way it's supposed to, this cog right here should be spinning as well. Of course, it's not going to right now because the tape is not pulled up against it. The mechanics on the other side is not working. But this here is supposed to spin The belt spins this, and when it's connected, this cog right here is supposed to go all the way over here and spin, and this cog, this spins this cog, which spins the other tape reel, the tape piece, which I don't have the tape, but you know, the little plastic pieces on the back. And so there you go. All right, so unfortunately this particular video is not going to end on a happy note of showing something up on the screen, but I'm still going to edit it together. As you can see that it's been played, and I will probably do a part 2 of it once I get the belt fixed and I'm able to actually get this properly working. Like I said, the mechanics of it all work. It's probably just this belt right here is the only thing that needs to be fixed. And with a nearly 30-year-old VCR, this happens a lot. These things just wear out. And fortunately, this one is not broken, but they just wear out. And this, I mean, it's already starting to crack and break. I can see along the lines where it is. So stick around, and I will get this thing fixed, and I will show it to you because I want to use this VCR. I love this VCR. It's a really neat thing, and I want to use it.